Hello and welcome to Wembley for Season 1, Episode 9 of The Head Coach, our final instalment of the first season, which could still end in trophy glory. So let's get into the FA Trophy final. We're playing against Gateshead today. It's our club's first ever FA Trophy final. It's also Gateshead's first ever FA Trophy final, so it's going to be a new name on a trophy today no matter what. You can see Ibra Sakaja, the much talked about man, is still the top scorer in the competition. Tommy Block has the most assists and Dan Lincoln has the most clean sheets. It's only fair all three of those start then, isn't it? Well, let's see if they do. At first, since you were last with me, things have gone from bad to very much worse. A week before the final of the FA Trophy and our last game of the season, our highly influential striker, Ollie Pearce, what does he do? He goes and starts a dressing room revolt about the atmosphere because we've lost a few games in a row. So he's got 11 players in agreement with him, all the ones that have been here a long time. And Ollie Pearce has just worked himself out of the lineup for the final. But as it happens, we've managed to claw the dressing room atmosphere back to average, and hopefully that will just about be enough. We're playing a conference side in Gateshead, obviously, or a National League team as it is now. So we are the underdogs, the heavy underdogs at that. Let's go and have a look at where Gateshead finished this season. They were 6th in the National League. Are they still in the playoffs? They're not in the final. Let's see how they got on. They're in 6th. They didn't get through to the semi. So it's not too bad, but they're a good side. They got nearly as many points in the National League as we did in the South, so they're clearly going to be the favourites for this. We've still got Theo Widrington suspended for that horror tackle against Dartford. We're still in woeful form, and as I mentioned, we have had that dressing room revolt, and all of that means for today, we have a slightly changed lineup with Dan Lincoln in goal, a back four of Davis, Field, Wood and Campbell, a four in midfield of Wanadio, Taylor, Block and Swallow, and the competition's top scorer Ibra Sakaja alongside Lubicic up front. Ollie Pearce has worked his way down to the bench alongside Meldrum, Tuck, Crane and Juma Omar, who comes onto the bench for El Abd, who also joined Ollie Pearce in beginning that dressing room revolt. But you can see from the little support icons here that there are lots of players, particularly even in the starting lineup, who are in support of him. But Dan Lincoln and Chad Field are still on my side, and that's the most important thing to me. So let's get into this final. It's Wembley Day, it's suit and tie day, and hopefully we can end this season on a positive and raise our stock for National League clubs. Oh, they're playing a 4-2-3-1. That's not a good start. They've got JJ O'Donnell in the middle, another former Luton youth prospect. Lubicic rightly highlighted as our key man. Let's go and see if we can get them to pick up where we left off. The reason the assistant's saying that, we did play a friendly in between just to keep the legs going because there were nearly 2 weeks between the fixtures. Obviously because we lost in the quarter-final of the playoffs. But we are going to start this game in hopefully slightly more confident form. You can see just how many players could be leaving the club after this game, all the loanees. I was wrong earlier in the season. I thought Ollie Pearce had a 2-year deal, but he doesn't, and I'm actually quite glad of that at the moment, because club icon or not, he is not my favourite of the month at the moment. We'll speak highly of them, we'll say all the right things. There's nearly 20,000 fans. I was going to say packed into Wembley, but it wouldn't quite be the right choice of words, would it? But let's see if we can pull off a miracle in this game. I tell you what, I'm going to be ultra defensive before we start and go more disciplined as well. Sakaja has got the ball on the counter here to Taylor. Sakaja again bringing it forward. We've kept position in the middle there. Let's see if we can bring it forward. Lubicic out to Swallow. Can't do much with that and it's out for a goal kick. Promising start though in the first 30 seconds. Let's hope it can continue that way, but I wouldn't bank on it. Campbell's got the ball down now from their goal kick. Field has the ball, clears long to Lubicic, great knockdown, but it's cleared long away. Excuse me for the pause again. The cough isn't shoving, so we're getting a few little jitters in this game. But Swallow's got the ball out on the left now. He's gone for the switch and it's been blocked and cleared away. Neil, who was highlighted as their key man, finds Shipley and they're bringing it forward at speed now. Furlong into McNeil, who was pointed out as a key man in the pre-match interview. Furlong into McNeil, whose shot's blocked by Wood and it's a corner ball. But that's more the pattern of play we're expecting to see in this game. The first shot goes to Gateshead. We're 2 minutes in and they've got a corner. Neil finds the edge of the box, he's unmarked and Lubicic heads away. We've got to be excited about this game, but it's not started well now. Furlong's got the ball to Neil and he's missed the target, but he was left unmarked at the back stick from 6 yards there, and there's only so many times you can get away with that. Lincoln with a long goal kick up to Sakaja, but it's cleared away to Taylor though. He finds Wanadio. Can he take them on down the right hand side? His club Bromley have been relegated, so wondering if we can get him for next season. But again, not our choice. Sakaja drops it down for Lubicic, and Montgomery makes a brilliant save. But that's the first clear-cut chance of the game, and it has fallen to Lubicic, and a great save from their keeper. But it has been a better start than I'd expected. But as I say, that Lincoln's had to make a brilliant one himself. A long-range effort there, tipped round the post, and hopefully we can deal with the corner as well. McNeil's got the ball at the near post, back out to Furlong, to Greenwood at the edge, and to Neil. They're working it round us nicely in the box here, and Vassell's lost out in the air to Lubicic, who heads away. But it's only fallen to a Gateshead player again, and they're bringing it back forward. It's been an action-packed first 4 minutes, 5 shots in the game already. 1 shot on target to each team, but Gateshead have certainly had the better other than that. They're also dominating the possession as usual, as you would probably expect, to be honest. The sentences aren't being strung together. The nerves of the final are getting there. The assistant manager's told us to watch McNeil, but they've had another cross blocked for a corner, and they're really starting to get on top now, despite the fact we've had the only clear-cut chance. We've dealt with the corner well again, but it's fallen to the edge of the box, back into McNeil, who's offside, thankfully, because he was left unmarked again. I can't see us holding out for too long in this game. We really look to be a class below them. We haven't got the confidence back yet, but we are attacking again now with Taylor. Finds Wanadio on the right. He puts the ball in towards Lubicic, but it's straight at the keeper, who saves. He's going to clear it away now, and they'll probably break on us yet again. We've got to take this episode as well to try and reflect on the first season, as Shipley comes down the left for them and it's going to be cleared away by Field. We will have an end of season review coming up after this game, where we take a little look at the players and the club in more detail, to see what's going to happen and if there are any jobs about for us to look at for the next season. One of the ones I did see in a precarious position was Tranmere, who finished 11th, but they're coming forward again now, Gateshead. Campbell only clears to the edge of the box, and Greenwood's shot's deflected in. Oh, it's not even a good bit of play. It's deflected off Wood, and it's even gone down as an own goal, so it was probably going wide before. But we will have an end of season review after this game. We are going to hope that maybe if we could get a job like that Tranmere one in the National League, it's a huge step up. I don't know if our reputation will be high enough for that if we lose this game as well as the playoffs. And just to compound the misery, we have got an injury now on the left. I guess at least it's the position we've got one of the best subs, so we'll bring Meldrum on out there. I really don't like this screen. I should use the old tactic screen, really. Would save you a few seconds watching, but nevertheless, we've brought Meldrum on. Half an hour gone, and things going just as wrong as they have done most of this week, to be fair, if you've been keeping up with the episodes. Oh dear, there they come down the right again. Greenwood's put in a good cross, and Shipley said it. I don't know how that didn't go in. He was about 3 yards out. It looked like it was harder to miss, but miss it he did. The ball's cleared by Lincoln to Wanadio. We've seen that quite a few times this season, but he's lost the ball now. It's fallen to their key man Neil in midfield to Furlong. Field with a big clearance for us, but it's only straight back at their fullbacks and they can start to build another attack. It's McNeil's got in behind this time. It's going to be 2, is it? No, Lincoln makes a very good save again. Lincoln is the difference so far. He's the reason it's not 3 or 4-0. Davis heads away the corner. Excuse me, got the throat going again. There we go, builds to nothing, and again we're not able to build a highlight attack in terms. But Meldrum's cross into Woods, headed away. It's fallen to Taylor in the box. Can he get it? He's gone wide. Why have you gone so wide? But Lubicic has got it on the edge of the box now. To Meldrum. Can we break down the defence? He finds Taylor out to Wanadio. Crosses into Lubicic. Oh, it's just over. Via the bar it looked like. But we've created a couple of chances in this half, which is more than I was expecting, to be honest. But Gateshead's power is shining through, and with 5 minutes to go till half time, they are still in control of the game. But Taylor's got the knockdown from Lubicic. Can we build another good chance? Block finds Meldrum. Meldrum cuts inside to Taylor. He finds Lubicic. He finds Sakaja in the box, but that shot is absolutely awful, straight at the keeper. We know Sakaja tends to be a bit intermittent with his form. He is generally terrible, but hopefully, like most of the FA Trophy run, he can just turn up with one brilliant finish at some point. If he can do that at the moment, it will get us back on level terms and it will make me very happy. But as it is, our first Wembley final's not ending very well at this rate. McNeil's into the box, and oh, it's definitely not ending well now. It's 2-0. It was really easy. That left side of the defence is a bit weaker. Keaton Wood's not the best player, to be honest. Mentally, he's very weak. And we've been caught out. It's 2-0 to Gateshead, and you have to say it's probably game over. And the trophy's probably going to Gateshead. But let's try and encourage them. There's no pressure. As is rightly said by our assistant. We try and give the fans a good performance, though. Make the most of this Wembley day out and see if it can lead us anywhere. Just a goal, something to take home with us would be lovely. The ball's been headed away by Gateshead, but it's straight to Lubicic. Now Meldrum, the long ball across to Wanadio, but it's not going to reach him. It's easy for them at the moment. They're just coasting. And Meldrum's got it on the left again. Can he get a cross in? He goes back to Taylor instead, who goes to Wanadio. He's got the fullback to take on, but doesn't. He goes back to Taylor and to Meldrum again into the box, but he shoots wide and not particularly pleasantly, to be honest. We're 5 minutes into the second half now. We have had all of the play so far in this half, but we still haven't looked like scoring, if we're being brutally honest. And Gateshead have just hit an 80-yard ball over the top, and McNeil's got in and forced a save from Lincoln. That is why we've still got a weakness in our team. If you can hit the ball 80 yards from your centre half and it just goes straight over, you know you're not gonna keep many clean sheets. Great tackle by the defence, and Taylor will bring it away. We're still not looking like scoring. I know we've been better so far in this half, but we've still been outplayed. We're still having very little possession and very few shots on goal. We're coming to that substitution time on the hour mark, and in fact we're just going to make one now because I can see Tommy Blocks having a really poor game. I think he's still only 17, to be honest, so he's 18 now, but he's still a youngster. You can't expect that much from him, so we'll bring Doug Tuck on. Tuck spent most of the 3 months previous stuck in the reserves while Widrington's been playing, so we can't expect too much from him because we didn't even think he was a first team player until a week ago. But nevertheless, we will bring him on. The only other option we had was Crane, and again, he's not naturally a midfielder. He's played a lot of games, but he's been versatile rather than high quality. We've got one more sub to make. We are probably going to have to bring Ollie Pearce on at some point because he is a better striker than Sakaja. But I thought it was only fair to give Sakaja the chance. Lubicic now to Meldrum. Into Sakaja, challenge, but it falls for Lubicic. Can we create something? No, we can't, but Meldrum wins it back again. And the ball in, the final ball's just not good enough at the moment. Tuck finds Wood, long ball over. Lubicic loses out in the air this time, and Gateshead are hitting us on the counter again. Shepherd's 30 yards out. Is that meant to be a shot because he's just put it out for a throw-in? I have not seen that for a while yet. That's worse than Sakaja. And with 20 minutes to go, speaking of him, we're going to take him off for Pearce. Give him a chance to redeem himself for his dressing room revolt. Anything other than 2 goals to get us back into the game, and I will hold my grudge against him until we leave this club. It's a shame because he's had a really good season. He broke the 50 goal barrier on the first league game of the season. He's a club icon. He's been really good for us, but his attitude in the last couple of weeks has really done my head in, to be honest. Here come Gateshead on the counter again, but it's gone straight to Wanadio. And can we build a counter with the long ball? It's gone to Ollie Pearce, who's in on goal. He's into the box, crosses for Lubicic, and he's headed a clear chance over. But to be fair, Ollie Pearce put that on a plate for him. It was a good counter-attack, but Lubicic has not had the best game in front of goal, despite being great in his hold-up play. And he is absolutely knackered now, to be fair to him as well. But there's not long left in this game now. Are we going to get the booking there? I can see something going across the bottom. Yeah, Taylor's going to get one. Josh Taylor, sorry. And with 10 minutes to go, it's starting to look like it's not going to happen now. I know I was pessimistic at half-time. We have played well in this second half, to be fair, but we've never really looked like scoring until that Lubicic header. They've won the ball back in midfield again. They've just been a slightly better side. They've got a bit more quality. They finished in the playoffs in the National League, and we can see why. And here they come again, 30 yards out. Shepherd goes back to York. Neil's bringing it forward for them. They're getting a lot of joy down this left, but Davis does well on that occasion. He's not had a good game either, but again, I think he's only a teenager. So we've got a very young team, and had we been staying here for 3 or 4 years, if this had been our part of the furniture save, I'd have probably been very confident because we could have gone forward for 3 years with this team. They would have grown, they will have progressed, and hopefully we could have resolved any dressing room revolts as Meldrum heads straight at the keeper. But in this one, where we've got the quick turnaround and we haven't got any say in the transfers and contracts, we could be left with all of those players who are in support of Ollie Pearce and against us. So we could be in a very difficult position next year, which makes me think, as much as I've enjoyed this club, I do have to look at jumping ship if the reputation's there. And the job comes up, obviously. They've cleared it long again, and on the counter we're a bit open now. Shepherd finds Furlong. It's into Greenwood, and that was easy, but he's put it wide. 3 minutes of stoppage time isn't going to be enough. We are going to lose this FA Trophy final. let's be honest, as a National League Souths team, it's an achievement in itself just to get to this final. But it is over. It's 2-0. It wasn't a bad performance, to be honest, but their quality just shone through in the end. We can watch them celebrating with the trophy. We'll get there eventually, don't worry. But it's over. It's 2-0. They were excellent. The assistant manager's right, to be fair. We played really well there. And they don't look very happy about it, but it just adds to the dressing room revolt, doesn't it? 2-0 then. Let's look at what's been said about the game. It was a defeat in our first ever FA Trophy final. £30,000 in prize money is not bad. Let's go and have a look at what that's done to the finances. And this is remarkable, I've got to say. It's the first ever time I've managed in this league where the club just hasn't gone under during the season. Normally you start just in the black in terms of finances and then go into the red and sink £500,000 during the season. We gained a little bit from the Luton tie that we spoke about earlier in the season in the FA Cup, but even then we were under 200,000. Our money's going up and up and up until about a month ago. It's something I've never seen at this level before and is really impressive, and there's another reason that I would possibly want to stay here. I've really got a tough decision on my hands during the summer, but obviously we'll just see what jobs come up. If we go and have a look at Swallow's injury, it is a 3 to 4 weeks, so it won't affect us next season if we're still here. We'll skip the interview for now. Goalless Ljubicic as well as Pearce. Probably shows why we weren't winning any games with both of the strikers out of form. Sakadra hadn't scored for a couple as well either. The squad will get a little payout for the FA Trophy, but they're still making a heavy profit out of that. The review for the tournament shows us as the overachievers, which is really great. And as we mentioned before, we've got the top scorer and the top assist maker in the competition. As promised though, let's go and review our season quickly. We'll just see what's happened in competitions. So in the National League South, there is a final between St Albans, who we lost to, and Whitehawk, who we played in the semi-final of the FA Trophy, And if we go and look at the league table, we finished in 5th place. In fact, let's go and look at the more detailed one. We want to see the goal difference and everything, don't we? We finished in 5th place. We had 79 points, just 6 points off the top of the league in the end, and miles above our pre-season prediction of the bottom half. But as it is, it wasn't to be. We hit bad form at just the wrong time with 4 games to go. And unfortunately that meant we lost out in the playoff quarter-finals against St Albans. I hope now they go up to make it look like they were a great side we lost to. You can see we only conceded 56 goals, which by league standards isn't bad. Let's put them in order. What's that? Oh, it's only about 6th or 7th best. That's not bad at all, actually. And goals for, we scored the 4th most in the league, which is something we probably didn't give the lads credit for most of the time. But it wasn't enough. We stay in the Vanarama National League South for next season. But if we put into perspective, Bognor Regis got relegated in real life. We were expected to finish mid-table, and we've got the playoff position, so not bad at all. Let's go and look at our season review for players. We'll go to the selection and see how they've done. Some of the boys, look at Dan Lincoln, 60 games, field 58. We'll put them in appearance order first. You can see those 3 players I've talked about a lot. The right-hand side, the defence and Lincoln, all starting more than 55 games for us. Ollie Pearce was in the 50s and scored 1 in 2. 10 assists as well. We've had some other great performers if we put them in order of performance. Ljubicic was the standout man. We've got almost no chance of keeping him. Our director of football will probably try, but I doubt he'll be able to do anything. He was by far the best player we had. Wanadi Odaloni was also a great player when he came in. As time went on, he completely proved why he deserved to displace Meldrum for the team. Theo Widrington was also good for us, another rating above 7 despite his end of season exploits with the red card. He did get sent off in probably 2 of the biggest games on camera, the last game of the season under Luton FA Cup tie, but was still good. And obviously we've got Sakadra and Pearce, who both scored a hatful of goals and performed rather well. But the season ends in disappointment. We are going to be in this league again next season. The last thing we'll check is see if there's any jobs on the go. And we'll see what our reputation's like now as well. So we go to a job security. There is one going at AFC Fylde, who have just been relegated from the National League into what I presume will be the North. Hungerford have got a job going, but they're probably a similarly small, if not smaller, club to us. And then all of the rest are way above the standard we can expect to get to, the likes of Barnsley, who have just gone down to League One as they did in real life. Let's go and look at the insecure jobs. Is there anything around there? That's the one I want. That Tranmere job, that would be a brilliant job for us to take our next step. Again, most of the rest will be too high up, but we'll wait and see what happens. We're not in a rush to leave Bognor unless this dressing room revolt really kicks off during the summer. But we'll see if our director of football, he may let Ollie Pearce go. We don't know yet. Lastly, let's look at our reputation, see how that'll affect our jobs. We've had a good season, so I would like to have thought something would have happened, but as it is, our reputation still marks as none, so it looks like we're going nowhere. But that is it for this episode and for this season of The Head Coach. If you enjoyed today's episode, please put a thumbs up on the video. You can subscribe to the channel below for more regular Football Manager content, including from this Head Coach save. And join me next Monday when we begin Season 2 of The Head Coach. Which club will we be at?